Well, I think that the thing that appealed to me, because I was not a Star Trek fan at the beginning of this process, what appealed to me, really was the characters. And that was the thing that for me, just sucked me in, and I realized, yeah, all the visual effects were fun and the spectacle was awesome, but the characters to me were the things that I had the most excitement about. And there are these two characters, Kirk and Spock, who are essentially broken. Kirk is this aimless, talk about loss. I mean, he's lost. He has no idea where he is, no idea what his purpose is. He's got sort of, full potential, but no goal. And then you've got Spock, who is this, half human, half Vulcan character, and he's in conflict because he's, I didn't even realize when I started this that Vulcans have to choose logic. It's not just sort of this biological imperative, that this is like a decision that they make. Well, to be half human and to basically make a choice that gives up that part of you, who you are, how do you reconcile that? And that was really interesting to me. So those two characters, have those issues. Then there's NERO, who has lost everything. He's lost the woman he loves, certainly, but he's also lost his home, his planet.
Do you know the location of Ambassador Spock?
I'm unfamiliar with Ambassador Spock.
What is the current star date?
Star date? 223304. Where are you from?
I guess I was always drawing on our script and essentially treating that as our kind of Bible, and a lot of the ideas I had for NERO emanated from, the crux of this story and conversations I had with JJ, and, this desire to make him, we all knew that he was a leader of the Romulans, but we wanted him to be in some way understandable to the audience, so that when we say, hey, he's the villain, he's now the villain, that we understand why he's the villain. And how much he relates to the Romulans that are referred to, I guess that's a harder question to answer, but essentially to me the most important thing was that we understood him and that we understood where he was coming from.
You can be an officer in 4 years. You can have your own ship in 8. You understand what the Federation is, don't you? It's important. It's a peacekeeping and humanitarian armada.
We done?
I'm done.
I think he did see himself as a career guy, but without the confines of sort of the rigid rule set that exists within Starfleet, and that's one of the things that appeals to Kirk about him. And he says as much, right? Even characters that have appeared for a moment in Star Trek occupy a very distinct place in the lore, right? So to say, oh, he was only in 2 or 3 episodes is to diminish something that can't be diminished, right? That you can't go there. So I looked at what Jeffrey Hunter done, of course, and then I looked at all the television series, the whole thing, and realized that the dilemmas for Hunter's Pike and Greenwood's Pike are different, which was a gift, right? But otherwise, I mean, this ground has been, that trail's been broken.
What now? That doesn't frustrate you, does it? My lack of cooperation. That doesn't make you angry.
Are you a member of Starfleet?
Yes. Can I get a towel, please?
Under penalty of court-martial, I order you to explain to me how you were able to beam aboard this ship while moving at warp.
Well, don't answer him.
You've got these 3 characters that I feel like, two of them are going to come together, because we're all born just knowing Kirk and Spock work together. But in this film, they're really at odds when they first meet. And then you've got NERO, who essentially has become someone who's going to avenge the loss of his planet. And he wasn't born to be a villain. That wasn't his destiny, his goal. And all of a sudden, this thing happens that, so I feel like you got to see the evolution of these 2 characters, Kirk and Spock, and how through this crazy adventure they come together, and the evolution of this character who, again, starts off as an average worker. He's a blue-collar worker. And he gets, sort of sucked into, literally, something that changes his destiny, and it ends up being a story of how they all kind of go up against each other.